to give emojis. It's on your put your hands up. Thanks, everybody. I forgot to mention that you can react by hitting your emoji buttons, giving us lots and lots of hearts and claps and funny faces so that we know you guys are responding to what we're talking about. Anyway, welcome to the Hive. I'm Vivian, and I'm excited today to have two very cool ladies with me for a girls' night in the Hive. Some people were like, is it girls only? And I said, no, it's just that sometimes I have a lot of male guests, and there are a lot of really cool women doing stuff in VR as well. So that's why we have to bring them on and have, our own little girls' night and have a good time. So I want to introduce you to Callie, Leone, and Preet, Deol. Please give them some emojis.
Hi, everybody.
Yay.
Hey, guys.
Lovely to meet you all.
So we were actually
especially
just talking,
in VR.
Yeah, I know. This is actually the first time we met in VR, right? So this is weird.
Yeah.
We met in person first,
yeah,
and then in VR. Okay, that is very backwards suddenly. So anyway, I met Callie and Preet at Facebook headquarters, and we spent the day together doing like a scavenger hunt, taking pictures. We had good food and drinks, and then we spent the next 2 days after that at Oculus Connect together. And they are doing some really cool things, but beyond that, we were talking about VR in general, just beyond gaming and how it can be applied for enterprise solutions, or just in other ways that we probably have not imagined or thought of yet. So, Callie, do you want to start by telling us a little bit about yourself and what you're doing in VR?
Yeah, so I was one of those people that kind of came into VR because I fell in love with it. And I kept trying to do a whole bunch of other things, and I kept coming back to VR. And every conversation would come back to, how do we take this into an immersive, platform? So I finally took the leap and was like, all right, screw it. I'm going all in on this entire industry. So I'm launching my startup now, Braver Labs. I'm building a feedback exchange platform because what's the one thing that all emerging technologies and innovators need is feedback. That's how we grow. So I'm looking to build something that's going to make everybody's life a little bit easier as we usher in this new wave. And that's how we got to meet.
Oh, excuse the table dance there.
I'm a fan of the table dance.
Yeah, a little bit, especially when it's us. So, Preet,
right.
What about you?
Well, I actually got into VR on a year abroad out in London, UK, and I just tried on this headset, and I was like, what is this giant thing that I'm about to put on my face? And it just took me into another world, and I was like, oh my God, the capabilities of this world within worlds within worlds. And just thinking, if I'm in a world where I can be an artist or an educator, what can this do for the remainder of the population? You can just have anybody access education or healthcare knowledge, or in my case, we started a financial literacy. So looking at different types of risk modeling, political risk, and how that might actually affect people's everyday lives. And then there began our program, so.
I was gonna say, that was really fancy.
Yeah.
When you were telling us about it, I was so intimidated. I was like, what? I just talk in VR.
Just mic drop, wow.
Yeah, I know. Yes, exactly. We're backed away. We're like, okay, that's really cool. So
well, that's the amazing thing.
The what?
Yeah, that's the amazing thing about VR is that, you hear all these different ideas from so many different people, and, you might just be focused in on one area, but then you hear this totally new landscape of what could happen in VR, and you're just like, oh my God, I wish I thought about that, or like this. And I think that's also what VR allows for other people, is just the capabilities to use their minds and see what they can make of VR inside VR.
I think you're totally right with that too, because what VR really is, and that's the reason that I got into the space and in general, was because for the first time, we can let people into our brains and into our perspective in a way that has been unprecedented in the history of the world. we can share something and a part of ourselves that has never been able to come forth into the world, whether that's an application in healthcare or just a really cool piece of art. It doesn't really matter. It's what do you want to manifest, right?
Right. And Callie, you were a part of the Oculus Launchpad program. Can you talk a little bit about how that worked?
I can. So Oculus Launchpad, for those who aren't familiar with it, is a program that Oculus launched in order to cultivate the next generation of immersive creators. And for me, it was really, really wonderful. They do have a great focus on bringing in diverse perspectives to create the future of content. And what that really allowed me to do was meet incredible people. We talked about everything from like, what are we building now to what do we want to see in the space, and how can we prototype something over the course of 3 months, submit it, get feedback, meet with a lot of different really, really talented people throughout the ecosystem, and iterate to develop what that concept is going to look like. We will be finding out over the next week or so, which of us are going to be getting grants and funding for our projects. But at the end of the day, the ability to collaborate with so many like-minded people and to just be in a playground and test out your theories with that kind of support structure was one of the most influential ways to get into the ecosystem. So I highly recommend that program. They're going to be starting applications for the next, I'll call it cohort. I don't know if Launchpad calls it cohort. Did I move?
We're moving a little bit.
Oh, I'm moving a little bit. Okay, I'm going to stop moving my hands. Maybe that will help. But I really found it really, really helpful. The community was the thing that drove the whole thing forward. So happy to answer any questions about that as well.
And Preet, you were telling us yesterday that you're working on a book. I don't want to spoil it, but I want to hear a little bit more about this because we both just heard about it.
Yeah, sorry to kind of drop that on you guys again, but I just have all these ideas, and you know what? VR really does inspire them. So when we were actually meeting at Oculus Connect, I was talking to a lovely group of girls, two of them being you, and then some of the girls from the AR VR Women and Allies group. And we're all just sitting around the table or within the conference area and just sharing our stories. How did you get into VR? What inspired those? And just the backgrounds that everyone had. And that when you choose to be in an industry like this, that's something so new, just still emerging and being developed, it takes a lot of courage and bravery, and there's a force behind that. Everyone has this force that drives them towards it. And we started talking about these forces behind our lives, and I was like, this is amazing. More people need to hear this, because sometimes when you're working on a project, or you're in VR, or you're coding, or you're learning, or you're just exploring, it can be an isolating journey. But then bringing yourself into VR is where you find a community. And sharing these stories is where you find a community. And the power of community is incredible. It blows my mind. I still can't capture the entire essence of it. And so I was thinking, what if we just shared these stories? What if we had a little coffee table book of all these amazing men and women in tech and just sharing their stories? And what if, for those that aren't necessarily able to access that, what if this book was also in VR? You're hearing these stories, you're seeing these people, and you're able to connect with that. So that's one of my passion projects right now.
And we were talking about doing a book signing in VR, so we'll have to figure that out as well.
Yes, I have goosebumps
Part 2.
now. Yes. Well, I think that's so important.
There's some amazing people right up there.
Yeah, this is right before we got really drunk. I mean,
oh yeah,
we didn't.
Before the margaritas were served.
Yeah,
it was so much fun.
This was so cool. How did you guys get invited to this event? I'm just it's just interesting, who all these people are, but
how we all kind of came to be at this
table. How did exactly.
Literally, how did we get our seats at that table?
Well, I bought it. I buy everything. I buy my friendships and stuff too, so that's how I got in.
You bought my heart. It's okay.
I just put it right out there, and I was just like, hey, I'm in this space. This is where I want to be. And these are the people I want to be having these conversations with. And
And,
in a new industry, I think that's what it takes to really just put yourself at the forefront and just dive right in. There's no other way
Yeah,
to do it.
I have to definitely agree with that. Like, I was in Toronto at the time, and I was wondering where this crazy industry is going, and just wanting to learn more. And then I ended up meeting some of the members of Facebook Spaces that were just talking about Facebook 360 on these projects and up and coming tools. And I was like, I want to learn more. I want to bring this to my community in Toronto, and I want to bring it to my community in Vancouver, and then eventually finding myself in Seattle and saying, this is brilliant. I want to help all these people get into VR, connect, bring their ideas to life, and be able to be who they are, want to be in this new world. And so the Facebook Spaces community, I will shout out to them for sure for allowing
yeah.
us to have that courage and have that perspective and that learning experience to be there and bring it back home.
So I thought this was like a really good group of people who are, like a mixed group. Actually, and some of these are alt spacers as well. But we have people here who are artists, who are working with, AR, VR women, and obviously game developers here. If you know Pixel Ripped. So that's what I was kind of like, oh, if I go to Oculus Connect, I wonder if it's just going to be like all games kind of a thing. But I was really pleasantly surprised how very much mixed it was. There was a lot of people who were like, well, I don't play any games, and I don't know any of these other applications. They just know like what they're working on. And I thought that was really
That's
really
me.
cool. Yeah, right. I know. And we ended up playing Dead and Buried together. We're like, why are we here? Like,
And then we played and we were like,
Yep.
this is the best thing ever.
no, and it took us
Mhm.
like 2 hours. We were in line for like 2 hours, and you
Which
and
game did you guys
Yeah,
Justin,
play?
we played Dead and
dead and
Buried.
buried.
hmm
Nice.
we play with people who
There
pay
was a lot
us.
of teamwork there. Vivian would wait in line. I'd go watch like a little session, then I'd wait in line, and she'd go do something, and we're like, okay, this is great. This is teamwork. This is VR community in real life.
Yeah,
I
And
think
then
it's
we went
also
into
just
VR.
it's like an experimental playground was what OC5 kind of created for me. From like all of us meeting, like this whole community up here, we got to talk about the stuff that was really inspiring us, whether it was games or aspects of games that could be channeled into other applications and uses. And we
well,
could all learn from each other.
and
It was really cool.
they announced the quests, and that was all new
Yes,
to
I'm so
us.
excited for that.
And yeah, because it is, I think a really good in between Go and the Rift, and I think a lot of us like enterprise level people were really really excited about just the idea of the quest. So, and did you try it out, Callie?
I loved the quest. So I played the
Okay.
tennis. Um,
Oh, okay. I'm glad I did not do that. It would not have been in
I
retrospect.
think you would have done much better than you're expecting. But the ability to freely move about the room, like right now, I'm using the Oculus Rift and I can feel the wire, behind my head, and it really does restrict the way that I engage with, everyone here in the Hive. And being untethered for so many applications, whether that's for like employee training, education, healthcare, manufacturing, whatever it is, just design in general, it gives you your body back in a way that we haven't really been able to explore yet. It's really cool.
I had something to say. No, I'm kidding. I was just
No,
gonna do it.
I just dropped the mic right there. I just made you speechless. It was
Yeah, we're
great.
done. Um, okay, so I actually, it was like mind blowing actually, like hearing what different people did. I forget who it was, but they did like HR training with type of
Yeah,
VR
Walmart did that with
experiences.
Striver. So they actually
Yeah.
just bought 17,000 Oculus Go's to do
hmm
employee training, and they're going to be rolling out that program probably over the next year or two. Gosh, I might like totally botch the stat. I thought it was like 4,500 locations, maybe something with 4,500. Somebody knows what it
Somewhere
is.
around there. Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I
somebody
figured two
knows
to
what it is.
3,000.
Don't quote me on it, but it's a lot of locations, and they're seeing really dramatic increases in performance and engagement. just by taking it into VR.
So
So
for
there's a great
for
YouTube video on it.
yeah, and I just saw that today too, so I posted it. For me, like I was thinking the Quest would be great because I think just the using the Go is I think good if you're kind of used to VR. I think that since I work with older adults, it might be a little
Hmm.
harder. So I'm excited like how the Quest can give them free range and 6 degrees of freedom. So I was immediately already thinking like, okay, we could buy like a bunch of units already and white label them and use them for like just like enterprise level, trainings and like B2B businesses, that type of thing. My head was spinning with that, and then I met a bunch of cool people. So do you guys have any like other people that you ended up meeting and like learning about, and you're kind of like blown away, like as I was by what they're doing? We can shout out to them now.
Yeah. Wait, sorry, say that
I
again.
would say,
She
sorry.
was like licking wet.
Sorry, I had my blonde moment for the day.
Oh, no, I have those. I have plenty of those. We were talking about all the different things that everyone else is doing. Do you have anyone like you thought was doing really cool things in their space?
I would say just like one of the guys up there is like Alex, and he created one of the Facebook groups that literally has named Virtual Reality, and one of the first and largest groups in Brazil. And I think that's just incredible, being able to bring about a community within a country, like a place, and just like getting to meet people from different parts of the world. So really, everyone at that table really impressed me. And then talking to Paige, who's working with art and museums, and there is such a great mental health aspect there. And I know for me
Hmm.
personally, getting into VR and using it has been so uplifting for my mental health. And just meeting all these wonderful people and getting to continue meeting all these amazing people in VR, just having different conversations, being like, hi, how are you? And just feeling like there's not really a huge barrier there.
Yeah,
I
and
know. Oh, go ahead.
oh, no, 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 you say, Vivian, what you were gonna say. I didn't mean to
Oh
cut
no,
you
no,
off.
no. I was just gonna say that I know why you had a pause because you might have to re-enter. So if you wanted to, I didn't want to like
Yeah, I
keep you
am.
from.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to re-enter the space, you guys. So give me a second here. Um,
Well, what about you, Vivian? Like, have you
Just
met
changing
anybody
letters.
that really stood out at the conference or just around in the community?
It was cool that I actually got to meet like just a bunch of people that I've known for some time. Like Lisa, for example, I've known her for almost 2 years in
Oh,
Altspace.
wow.
So that was really cool. And then seeing some of the Altspace staff again that I've already met, and then ones that I didn't meet that are no longer at Altspace but were there, like Mozilla. Um,
mhm.
so it was really cool to meet the developers of like social VR because there was like Sean White from Rec Room was there, VR
Yep.
chatters, Jazz from High Fidelity, and so like just seeing all of the social VR people, and then all of the streamers. So I felt like it was really like there were people who were like, I don't know who these gamers are because I don't game, and then a lot of the gamers were like, well, we just do exclusive gaming. We don't know all of these other solutions. So it was kind of cool to get everyone all in one room because everyone's still interested, like regardless of what they're doing. So and for me, it was
Yeah,
just meeting people I've already met. That was like,
in
I guess,
real
the
life.
highlight. Yeah.
Yeah, the real life meeting was really interesting because a lot
Hmm.
of us had really only met in VR for months before meeting together in person.
Right. Yes, like all of the AR VR women. So I don't
Mhm.
know if you guys were already there in Facebook, but I entered a little late because I was visiting my friend in the building over. And when I came in, it was like instantly everyone like recognized each other and just started like, like giving out hugs. I'm like, wait, have we met before? And we weren't sure. So
Like
that was
avatars of real face.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, like Eva here. So I thought that was really cool. Callie, you were just talking about playing Beat Saber. Do you play any other games? I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about what other things you're doing. Oh, Callie's muted. I don't know if you know you're muted. Isn't VR production?
Am I back?
Oh.
Yeah, you're back. You're here.
Okay, and now I've got my megaphone on. We should be good now. I think all
Yeah.
technical hurdles are dealt with. Yeah, I've been playing a lot of Beat Saber. It's also one of the things that I love to show people who haven't been into VR before. So there's a couple different things that I'll show like these newbies, which is really, really fun. Just because of the way that you can engage with the material in Beat Saber, it's so intuitive. And I think it allows you to dream bigger than just one game. Probably why it's been so successful to date.
And I feel like because you're so active and you really have to move your hands and arms, you do feel immersed in the experience. Whereas like sometimes with the 360 video, it's a lot of watching and around the space, but you really get to interact with those hand motions there.
So, well, so I've like been trying to play a lot more games, and it's been really fun. So I encourage you guys to come and like play in the tournament with us in Beat Saber in all space.
I'm so down.
But yeah, let's do that. But I think that you guys were at the esports finals. Did you guys watch that?
I
We
did.
watched
So that
part
was,
of it, yeah.
what part
Go
did
ahead.
you see? What part?
Towards the finals, so I think there was like one of the teams that were up, and they had like all the lights around and like the faces on the screen. I was mostly by the bar, to be honest, but I did watch.
Wait, which games? There was two going on at once.
The one where they were shooting people.
That's what we played. Pay attention. I'm kidding. No, you're right. There was Onward.
That's what we played.
I'm kidding. No, yeah, no.
Oh my God,
It
you
was
gave me a heart
You,
attack
yeah, you were
there.
talking about the one by the main stage, right?
yeah, the
that
big one.
Right. Yes,
Yeah,
that
I
was
was
my
in that
first
one.
time actually going to an esports tournament. What fascinated
Same
me the most
here.
was actually the commentary. I really
Yes.
enjoyed the commentary to those things.
Yeah.
I could probably do that all day.
I know.
Would just be-
They're called like casters or something, and like I'm like, how do I get in on that? That sounds like so much fun. They just sit and like describe what's going on and what's happening. I just thought that was.
Oh, can
really,
we do that in our
really
next
cool.
Beat Saber tournament? Can we commentate?
You want to do that? Okay,
I
we
do.
need someone to do that. I think you'd be good at that.
All right, I'm so in.
Well, I
That's
was
happening.
gonna say, since Preet and I have already had practice shooting people in Dead and Buried, I
love
I'm
it.
trying to get like an all girls team on Onward so we could play in the next esports tournament. Wouldn't that be cool? Don't
If you
guys
get
wanna
the
do that?
schedule, if you tell me
Yeah,
where and when
sure.
to show up, I will be there.
Okay,
You know what? I did not see any women there, so maybe we can be
There
the
was
first
one.
esports women's team.
Oh,
Was
there
there?
was one. You
Oh,
guys,
that's
there's
great.
definitely more women, and we need to find
yeah.
them, and we need to do this all girls team.
Yeah, so there's one Onward player. Her name is Edna Chang, and she's actually going to come on and be a guest on here. But I think she's the only one in the U.S., and there's one more female player in Europe, I believe, is what I heard. So I said, like, I would love to have like an all-girls team, and you know,
So that's
like,
just two globally?
Wait, can we
Yeah.
ask her if she can train us?
Wow.
I think
Yeah,
we need
so
a
I
boot
totally
camp,
did.
and we need to go out in full force here.
I think so. We have the height thing down, so it's perfect. Actually,
I like it.
the lowest height you could be in the game is 5'6". So
Oh, I don't know if I
That
make
is
that one.
still
yeah,
taller
no, we're
than
not
I
gonna make
actually
it,
am.
but that's okay. But yeah, I was thinking like, okay, like
Platform
who are other
shoes.
girls? We can, yes, thank you. And plain heels. I totally asked if I could do that, and you can. You might fall, but we can do that. We will be like that one team.
It'll just be how we do things better.
Exactly. I think so. I mean, I think we should try and play and see. Like, we could just like sign up for it and just maybe we'll get in OC5 like for a different reason. I think that'd be awesome. So the three
I
of
think
us,
so.
we just need like I think a few more, like 3 more women, and then we got.
All right, we're doing official nominations right now. So whoever is here, please send us who you want to nominate
yeah
to
we're gonna
join
be-
our all women's team here.
Yeah, we've already been on a team. We've already done things together, like that scavenger hunt that ended up being like eating ice cream and.
Oh, I
candy
rocked
and-
that one.
Yeah, that was cool. We were distracted. I think we were the leisure group. We were like, we're just gonna walk around and hang out, kind of a thing. Because I think we were
Make
the
sure
last
we
ones
got
to
all the
get in.
great photos. There were just
Yeah.
too many amazing photo ops over
The
there.
Instagram stuff. And this
I
is,
know.
I think, my favorite right here. It was when we did this big group
The All
photo.
Stars photo.
Yeah, that was so much fun.
I actually
We're
I
missing quite a
love
number of
looking at
people.
this picture.
I know,
It's like one of
Yeah.
my
it's like
favorites.
perfect. Yeah,
Well, it's
see,
such a
look,
diverse
look at us
group of
together.
people.
Yeah, so we have gamers in here, and like if you know, like these guys right here are Rec
Mhm.
Room, VR Chat, former Allspace, High Fidelity right there, Facebook Spaces. So it's like and then a bunch of streamers back there. So,
Yep.
and
Yeah,
the
and
guy
then
I'm
we have
sitting next to is
Nava,
VR
Social
Gamer Dude.
VR.
Yeah, I've been playing games with him too. So that now that like we've all like met in person and we've already like played games together, we're like hanging out a lot more. So shout out to everyone in this really cool group that we got to be a part
Hey
of.
guys.
Like, we just made it happen. Well, I'm really excited
Still
for the all
missing some
girls
very
thing.
awesome
So
people.
okay, so let's see. I didn't know if anyone had any questions. You can go ahead and press the audience ask a question right here on your on the bottom right of your UI. So if anyone wants to ask questions, but we'll be here afterwards when we end the stream. So let's see.
I went for a little travel. Sorry, guys.
No
Oh, where did you
problem.
go?
Welcome back.
How was it?
You know, I really wanted to see what it was like up on the bleachers, and you guys look fantastic.
Thank you.
So.
I thought so.
Oh, thanks.
So Preet, I know you've used Allspace before, but what other social apps have you guys used?
Primarily Altspace actually, and I've been on Facebook Spaces as well, which I really do enjoy. Even I actually
Yeah.
had one of our first interactions ever in Facebook Spaces, just talking about a climate change project I was working on and just being a guest on one of her shows. And that was like a really cool experience and going through like the 360 art and being able to travel into those spheres. I believe it was Louis Dyer that actually did our background, and it was incredible. Absolutely incredible.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I enjoy. Oh, sorry.
No, go
Sorry, what
ahead.
were you gonna say? Yeah, I was gonna say I really like that about Spaces was fantastic, but also the ability to kind of collaborate and do like different like actually like talk about things and be able to draw together in a really rudimentary kind of way. I found very exciting. But I also like High Fidelity. It's a really fun, social VR place, VR chat. Rec Room is obviously amazing.
Wait, you do
Um,
VR chat too?
hmm
Okay, do you have
So,
full body tracking? Because we should go in there and dance. There's like, we should make that
okay,
happen
dance
too.
party and VR
Dance
chat is
party, yeah,
happening.
dance party. Onward Girls Team is happening. And then our
Yes,
IRL travels to these really cool VR experiences that we have in
for
them.
sure.
So yeah,
Okay, so we've
awesome.
got a bucket list forming.
I think so.
That's definitely going to happen. But yeah, no, what I love about it is just this fundamental look at how do we collaborate and communicate with one another in a virtual world? And what are the different ways that developers, creators, and just people like are finding ways to connect with one another and create a meaningful interaction? It's very similar to the real world, but it's also very unique in a virtual setting. So I love testing out different social applications. If anyone has any new social apps to try, I am totally going to be your guinea pig for that.
I saw that on Twitter when they were asking for people to demo that one new experience. I think it
Oh,
was like
where thoughts go?
yes, exactly. And I was like, oh, I want to enter
Oh, I
that
heard
one
that was
too.
amazing.
So that actually a huge shout out to Lucas, who I have not met in person, but I look forward to meeting you, Lucas. Where Thoughts Go was one of the most profound experiences I've had in virtual reality, not just from a very sort of meta experience where you have the ability to kind of go into this beautiful ethereal world and you get asked a question and you get to hear people's responses anonymously to that question. Like the one that I answered was, what did you want to be when you grow up? And it was an insight into people's dreams, into who they are as a person in this free space to talk about that. But the mechanics of how that works and how it was executed were I believe really pushing the boundaries of what VR is capable of and how we're going to, really relate to other people outside of the physical realm. So huge shout out to that team for their work in the space.
Yeah, I feel like we should all get to try it if we give a shout out. I'm just because I wanted to try it too. So I was like, this is really cool. And then I saw that you were already
Yes.
on it. So okay, well, we are towards the end, but we will be here if people have questions for us. So Callie and Preet, thank you so much for coming to hang out with me. We'll do it again once your book is out and once you go further with your company.
We're going really full speed ahead with this, which is it's really exciting. And I can't wait to share with you guys what we're building. I'm hoping it's going to make a lot of people's lives easier and really understand what's going to work and not work when developing best practices for VR. So that's
really
to learn from each other.
Capabilities, definitely the capabilities of VR and sharing that with everyone. Totally.
Yeah, Preet, you've gotten a sneak preview of a lot of the stuff. So
I am so excited. I actually cannot wait. If I were able to say right now, I absolutely would, but I will sit tight until we are good to go.
So stay tuned.
Okay, so everyone, thank you so much. I also want to say next week we're going to have the people in Marineverse. They are the creators of Big Breezy Boat and VR Regatta. This Big Breezy Boat is available on Oculus Go. VR Regatta is available on your Rift and your Vive. And we're going to give away some keys. So come and join us for that next week. And I want to say thank you to all the people who helped with the show, our guests and our moderators and our streamers, everyone who's watching. I know a lot of people are catching us on YouTube, and you can catch the recording of it later. So thanks so much for joining us. Let's give a bunch of emojis for Preet and for Callie. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, of course. Okay,
That's great.
I'm serious about the onward
but
thing.
now I want to sit down and I want to do like a salon series of like discussions about what it means to be in social VR. Can we have like a salon discussion about that?
Yeah, you could do it and you could lead it. It could be Callie's salon.
You should.
I think I'm going to start hosting.
Yes, Nava would be so good.
Nava, are you here? If Nava's here, we're gonna start doing
Nava
this.
is listening.
She's like
get ready because your
now.
calendar is really gonna book up soon.
Yeah,
if it wasn't booked
so
already.
much.
Yeah, she's a total rock star. Okay, so Callie's salon series is coming soon, and we will all be there. We know this.
Okay. Good night, everyone.
Bye, guys.
Good night.